Hello, Psychology 101. My name is Brian Gamajo, and the area of psychology I will be talking about is substance abuse. Drug addiction is a chronic, recurrent condition characterized by obsessive drug seeking and drug taking behavior that persists despite negative consequences. The topic of drug abuse interests me because I think people have a common misconception about people who are addicts. People in general often look at people with mental disorders as though they are crazy or non functional, but when it comes to people with dependence on drugs, they look at them as junkies, criminals, and animals. These people are so dehumanized by society that some refuse to look at drug addiction as a mental disorder. However, through research and journal studies, people understand the humanity behind people who suffer from drug abuse. There are many ways to define drug addiction. Both the World Health Organization and the American Psychiatric Association prefer the term substance dependence to drug addiction. Drug addiction, on the other hand, emphasizes the term's behavioral connotation and is less likely to be associated with physical reliance. The American Psychiatric Association defines substance dependency as meeting at least 3 of these 7 criteria. First would be craving, which is a strong urge to use a psychoactive substance and feel its effects. Second would be physical and physiological dependence, which is an outdated term that refers to physical tolerance and withdrawal syndrome. Third would be priming, which refers to a fresh encounter with a substance that was previously misused. Fourth would be relapse, which is a resumption of drug-seeking or drug-taking behavior after a period of abstinence. Fifth would be reward, which is a stimulus that the brain interprets as intrinsically positive when taking a substance. Sixth would be sensitization, which is the increased expected effect of a drug after repeated administration. And lastly, we have withdrawal syndrome, which is a constellation of signs and symptoms that follow the abrupt discontinuation or reduction in the use of a substance. There are a multitude of factors that influence addiction. Personality traits and other mental diseases have a significant role in drug addiction conditioning. Addiction to drugs is favored by risk-taking or novelty-seeking characteristics. Drug addiction can be amplified by mental illnesses such as ADHD and depression. According to a study published in the Journal of American College Health, ADHD students were more likely to participate in frequent alcohol use, binge drinking, regular marijuana usage, and other drug use throughout their first year of university. Substance abuse is a serious issue among college students, with alcohol/drug use connected with an increased prevalence of negative outcomes such as poor academic performance, social interpersonal difficulties, and dangerous behavior. One thing about college students, though, is that we're always stressed out. Whether it's from examinations, scholarships, or other aspects of college life, stress is synonymous with the stereotypical college life. But stress may also be a major role in the development of substance addiction. The idea that stress causes drug usage in vulnerable people and relapse in addicts is not new. Most main addiction theories contend that stress plays a significant role in increasing drug use and relapse. Most widely misused drugs that stimulate brain reward pathways such as alcohol, nicotine, cocaine, amphetamines, opiates, and marijuana also activate brain stress systems. Dopamine neurotransmission in brain reward pathways is increased when brain stress circuits are activated. So people who use drugs to cope with stress may become conditioned to always respond to stress by using drugs, which can lead to addiction. Another thing that I want to talk about is tolerance and withdrawal. Tolerance causes drug use to be altered in order to achieve the intended results, whether by raising a dose, decreasing the interval between doses, or both. Withdrawal forces users to continue drug usage in order to avoid or alleviate bodily discomfort and dysphoria. Tolerance and withdrawal both increase obsessive drug seeking and drug taking behavior and are necessary for addiction maintenance. The best way I can compare this is to food and working out. If you're trying to gain weight, you need to eat more food. But by working out, your body will over time demand more and more food. This action of asking for more and more food is tolerance. You're building up a tolerance to the amount of food that you're eating, so your body keeps asking for more in order to compensate for you working out. But then, let's say you want to cut weight. But as you're trying to cut weight, your body still demands your old bulking diet of a lot of food, so you give in. This is withdrawal. The action of you trying to cut down on the calories and trying to cut weight, and your body keeps asking for more, your body's having withdrawal from those calories from that diet. These two actions keep addicts in an endless cycle of addiction. The last thing I want to go over is the significance of dopamine on drug addiction. Natural rewards such as food, exercise, and sex, and addictive substances both promote dopamine release from presynaptic ventral tegmental area neurons into the nucleus accumbens, resulting in euphoria and reinforcement of the behavior. After a few experiences, there is a very rapid adaptive change or habituation in the case of natural insensitives, and the novelty or unexpectedness of the reward appears to play a key role in the first response. The reaction to the addictive drugs is unaffected by habituation, and each dose boosts dopamine release. Imaging studies have confirmed the significance of dopamine in the reinforcing effects of drugs of abuse in humans. Expanding on previous beliefs of dopamine participation in drug addiction, these findings indicate flexible drug addiction treatment strategies should attempt to A. Decrease the reward value of the drug of choice while increasing the reward value of non-drug reinforcers. B. Weaken conditioned drug behaviors and the motivational drive to take the drug. And C. Strengthen frontal lobe inhibitory and executive control. My last remark in regard to substance abuse is that addicts aren't junkies and shouldn't be treated as criminals. People suffering from drug abuse are no different from people suffering from depression or mental illness. If you or a loved one is suffering from drug addiction, there's always help. Breaking away from tolerance or withdrawal isn't easy, but it is a fight worth fighting.